Yes, I don't expect my question to be very popular, but I think it's important that we ask the hard questions. A lot of the questions that people may not be in favor of. I'm glad that Denisa Waugh praised the internet and vouched the internet. On that note, I'd like your opinions on the climate gate situation.
The climate gate that this gentleman referred to, that is unfortunate, and I think that it was absolutely wrong to what has happened, but I have to say that from everything I've read since then, the facts of the science around climate change have not changed. They are still absolutely the basis for good science. It is some scientists who perhaps, and I don't know all the facts, but who erred in the way they presented their reports. But the facts around climate change have not been challenged in any serious way by any credible scientist. And starting right here with Dr. Weaver, who's a very thorough, well-known scientist. People like Dr. Schindler, who's has obtained the Canada Gold Medal for Engineering Science, who studies around the Great Lakes, for example, identified the connections in the 60s, the connections with phosphate and the detergents we use and the pollution of our lakes. So these are Dr. Peltier, a physicist from Toronto, again, internationally renowned, has not repudiated the basis of climate change science, but wrong. Certainly some of the actions were wrong, and they're being challenged by the very scientists who feel that their whole work is at risk.
Going to the question of ClimateGate, the ClimateGate issue. This is what ClimateGate, like Watergate, and everyone remembers Watergate. It was about the burglars. It wasn't about what they stole. This is about the burglars. This is about who would run such a well-financed campaign as to be able to hack in to a university email system at East Anglia. As of today, I saw a story by quoting Sir David King, the science advisor to former Prime Minister Tony Blair, which he said this was an operation that looked like an international government spy agency operation.
Shoot the messenger.
No, and I've read all the emails going back 15 years. I think it's 15 years. They began in the mid-90s, so not quite 15 years. And those scientists, I will say right now, did nothing wrong. Cherry-picking emails out of a conversation that went over many years, they've been painted as if they did. There's a full investigation on in East Anglia. No one destroyed data. 90% of the data was already in the public domain. Some of the data they couldn't release because it was proprietary to other people who held it. Some countries, for instance, like to hold on to their data so that researchers who need it have to pay for it each time they use it. These guys were not, I mean, there was some old material from work that was done in the 90s where the originals disappeared, but the copies still existed. Nobody was destroying data. There was no malicious intent. There was nothing unscientific. Sometimes at the end of their rope, some of these scientists would write to each other and say, boy, that journal has turned into nothing but a pro-carbon deniers paper. It's not even scientific anymore. What are we going to do about that journal? Taken out of context, these things have done a lot of damage to the reputation of a lot of very fine scientists. And again, even if they had done something wrong, it didn't affect more than one tiny scintilla of evidence on climate crisis. But I'm going to bat for those scientists. I think they'll be completely cleared. When you read all the emails, you realize they did nothing wrong.
It's the third time I've said that. I'll probably say it 3 more times. See, in my line of work, you got to keep repeating things over and over and over again for the truth to sink in, to kind of catapult the propaganda.